Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Real News Podcast. And right now, we are witnessing the destruction of women's sports right before our eyes. And the Democrats are leading the charge. You can't make this up, man. You really can't make this up. Now, there was a motion in the Senate to ban biological men from competing in female sports. Now, a common sense measure to protect fairness and the integrity of women's athletics. But guess what? It failed. I know some of y'all are like, yo, nah, ain't no way. Ain't no way. But yeah, it did. It failed. And it failed because not a single Democrat voted for it. Zero. Nada. Zilch. Nobody. Every single Democrat in the Senate turned their backs on women. On fairness. On reality itself. This isn't about what's right and wrong anymore. It's about politics. Pure and simple. The Democrats are so shackled to their woke ideology that they can't even muster the courage to stand up for what's the most basic principle of competitive sports, a level playing field. Now we're gonna get over to Riley Gaines over here in just a second. I'm gonna. Here's a video from Riley Gaines, man.
You have a governor, you have an attorney general, you have elected officials, essentially an entire political party, at least in terms of elected representation, who are willing to send the message and do everything in their power to say that, look, we will put all Minnesotans at risk because we believe boys deserve to trample on girls. Minnesota for too long has turned its back on women and girls. The concept of gender identity and the reality of sex are in direct conflict with each other. You cannot protect the rights of girls to play fair and safe sport and also protect the boy who wants to take their place on the team. You cannot protect the rights of girls to undress in locker rooms free from men and also protect the rights of the men who wish to be in those locker rooms. It is a choice. And for too long, Minnesota has dismissed its girls. I am here to tell all of you, there is nothing to be ashamed of in standing up for girls and women. You have a governor.
There you go. And there's nothing wrong with standing up for girls and women. Nothing. All right.
Simple. It ensures that girls' sport.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that one. But let me break it down for you so there's no more confusion, all right? Now, this Senate motion needed 60 votes to pass, but only got 51, all from Republicans. The Democrats, along with independents like Bernie Sanders and Angus King, who caucus with them, shut it down cold. Senator Elizabeth Warren had the audacity to call this bill unnecessary and discriminatory. How is that unnecessary? Tell that to the female athletes who are losing their scholarships, who are losing their medals, who are losing those opportunities to biological men. And discriminatory. What about the discrimination against every woman who has stepped into the ring, stepped onto the track, or into the pool against someone with a God-given physical advantage? This vote wasn't a fluke. It was a declaration of war on women's sports, and the Democrats fired the first shot. Now, got another video, man.
Across our state, young girls are training hard, they're sacrificing, and they dedicate themselves to their sport. They wake up before dawn for practice, and the parents take them there too a lot of times. They push themselves to the limit, and they dream of championships and scholarships and breaking records. But if we do not act correctly today, those dreams are now being put at risk. House File 12 is simple. It ensures that girls' sports remain for biological females, just as they were meant to be.
There you have it. The way it was meant to be. I don't know how our country is so divided right now that we can't even agree on something as fundamental as keeping men and women sports separate. It's madness. Ludicrous. The Democrats claim to be the party of women, the champions of equality. Right? The defenders of the oppressed. But when the rubber finally meets the road, where are they, man? Nowhere to be found. They're too busy pondering on the transgender lobby, bowing down to the altar of political correctness, and calling everyone who disagrees a bigot. They'd rather score points with the woke crowd than protect the rights of female athletes who poured their blood, sweat, and tears into their craft. Let me get one more video off, man. Let her do one more video, cause right now this is crazy. I can't believe.
And they aren't going to stop being transgender just because you strip them from sports or from housing or from their health care or any other public place that you don't want us to be. And so, members, make no mistake that this is just another version of state-sanctioned bullying and genocide. And I don't say that lightly. And they are
Bullying. That's what they think it is. Because we won't let them compete with women. And nobody's ripping you out of housing. I don't know where the hell you got that from. I don't know what kind of nonsense you just pulled that out of. Ain't nobody trying to pull you out of housing. Ma'am. Okay? Ma'am. Nobody's trying to pull you out of housing. Matter of fact, leave your ass in there. You don't need to be outside with this bullshit. Foolishness. Crazy. But let's cut through the noise and let's get real. Men and women are different. It's not sexism. That's science. Biologically, men have advantages in strength, speed, and endurance. According to the study in British Journal of Sports Medicine, transgender women, biological males who identify as women, retain significant advantages in muscle mass and strength even after a year of hormone therapy. The advantage shrinks, sure, but it doesn't disappear. In sports where power and physicality matter, that edge is a game changer. Big time game changer. And you see it in every sport. Look at the boxing match. Shorty took one hit, was like, yeah, nah, I'm done. She was left crying. You know what I'm saying? By letting men compete in women's sports, we're telling female athletes that their hard work, their dedication, their sacrifices don't mean a thing. It's a slap in the face to every girl who's trained her whole life to be the best, only to have her dreams crushed by a system that's abandoned fairness and fairness for feelings. They don't care. Now, don't come at me with this inclusive nonsense. I'm not for that. I'm all for compassion, but not at the expense of justice. Now, we can include transgender athletes without touching women's sports to the without torching women's sports to the ground. Create separate categories, develop fair policies. There are solutions out there, but the Democrats don't want solutions. They don't want a virtue signal. They rather flex their progressive credentials and admit the obvious than admit the obvious. And biology matters, and fairness matters. Now picture this. You're a female athlete who spent years grinding to be the best. Grinding to be the best. Since he was a little youngin'. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Now you're at the top of your game, ready to shine. Then a biological male steps into the lane, onto your court, into your ring, and takes your spot. It's not fair. It's not right. We've seen it happen already. It's not like we can say, oh, hypothetically. No, we've seen it happen already. Look at Leah Thomas, the transgender swimmer who just stormed through women's swimming competitions. Female swimmers who trained their whole lives were left in the dust by someone with the physical advantage of a male body. That's not competition. And it's not just the elite level. This is hitting high schools. This is hitting colleges. Even little girls just starting out. We're teaching them that biology doesn't matter. Effort doesn't matter. As long as you identify a certain way, it's insanity. Ludicrous. Now think about a young girl with big dreams. Maybe your daughter. Maybe your niece, your little sister. Now she's out there every day grinding. She's out there every day running sprints. She's out there every day lifting weights, sacrificing her social life to be a champion. And she's told she has to compete against someone who's naturally stronger, naturally faster, naturally tougher. I mean, quite honestly, it's just completely demoralizing. It screams to her that no matter how hard she works, she might never win. The psychological toll is real. Hopelessness, frustration, maybe even quitting sports altogether. Even legends like Martina Navratilova, a tennis icon and gay rights activist. She said loud and clear that letting biological men into women's sports is unfair. And she took heat for it. But she didn't back down because she knows the truth. If Martina can see it, why can't the Democrats see it? The Democrats love to say, oh, leave it to the states. Let the communities decide. That's a cop-out. This is a national issue. Title IX was passed to guarantee equal opportunities for women in sports, and now is being twisted to include biological men. That's not what that's not what it was meant for. Without federal action, women's sports will crumble state by state, school by school. This motion wasn't just about pro athletes. It was about protecting the integrity of women's female categories everywhere. But the Democrats chose politics over principle. And honestly, I actually think that they blocked that because just to get back at Trump. I think they already had the numbers and they all got together was like, yeah, nah, we just gonna shut that shit down. Forget about the females' feelings. We don't like Trump. That's a bigger issue we got right now. Globally, this is a mess too. It really is. The International Olympics Committee has rules for transgender women, hormone levels, testosterone limits, but even those are under fire right now. And experts say they don't. Experts say that they don't level the playing field enough. If the Olympics can't figure it out, how are local schools supposed to figure it out? And don't tell me there aren't enough transgender athletes to matter. It's not about numbers right about now, because we all see this bill get shot down. We all know it's coming. A lot more are going to come out the closet. A lot more are going to be in those locker rooms. One case of unfairness is too many. And as this madness spreads, the cases are just going to continue to pile up. Guarantee you. The cases are going to continue to pile up. Legally, we're on shaky ground. Title IX opened doors for women in sports. Doors that are now being kicked down by this new agenda. Now imagine your daughter, a star basketball player with a scholarship on the line, a biological male joins the team and takes her spot. You'd be furious. And you should be. This isn't a what if. It's happening right now. The mainstream media, they're in on it, framing this as a civil rights fight when it's about fairness and competition. They'd rather push a narrative than face the facts. Now, sure, we could be compassionate, but I'm not here to bash anyone's identity right now. All right, but compassion doesn't mean denying reality. We can support transgender people without wrecking women's sports. Open a dialogue, find a middle ground, but the Democrats won't have it. They shut down debate, slap hate labels on anyone who questions them, and they call it a day. This isn't about sports, it's about truth itself. If we can't admit basic biology, what's next? Men getting pregnant? It's a slippery slope. And we're sliding real fast. In contact sports like rugby, boxing, it's not just unfair, it's dangerous. The injury risk skyrockets when strength gaps are ignored. We're gambling with women's safety for woke points. Now, the hypocrisy kills me. The same Democrats who scream about women's rights are throwing women under the bus. If this shit keeps up, women's sports will just vanish. Records shattered by transgender athletes, opportunities stolen from girls who earned them. The scholarships, the sponsors, the dreams, all of it are going to be gone. We've got to fight back. If the Democrats won't protect women's sports, we need to hold them accountable as to why they're not protecting women's sports. Vote them out. Call them out. Make noise until fairness wins. What kind of world calls this controversial at all? How is this even controversial? When did common sense become a partisan fight? Wake up. Wake up, America. This is about our kids, our fairness, our truth. We can't lose this battle. Stand up, speak out, and let's save women's sports. Drop your comments below, hit that thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe because we're getting started. Be smart, be safe, and I'll catch you in the next one.